5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! And we're away.
There we go.
And immediately we're on the pace. Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be like in 15 seconds. Oh, I finished the first one. What?
Not quite.
I've only actually played the two sets of scenarios on this game. I never got round to doing the last two sets for some reason. So today we'll actually tick those off in our little achievement list. So that's nice. Few more benefits. But I do enjoy this one with the Russia car. Brings back a lot of good memories. And I'm away. Probably the bloody third corner.
What's that? Hey O2, how are you doing? Also,
Well,
hey!
back away. Is there a Lotus down in 19th? It's ridiculous. Might have been worth doing a few laps on this beforehand.
I know, yeah. I'll be honest, I haven't done any. Semi-okay. That's good enough.
Now, luckily, I don't know if you've noticed, I've started a 2013 career mode over on my channel on YouTube, so I've had a bit of practice before this.
I did, yeah, I noticed you did, I think, did you get 11th or something in your first race?
Yeah. It was really weird, because the middle where it's quite significant. So, I was in sort of 6th, 7th place, then all of a sudden, 2 laps before I was supposed to pit, the tyres just went off and into the one corner. I just locked the brakes and went straight off. I thought, I can't believe this. I thought, you know, this is quite realistic actually. Luckily in this scenario, unless it's explicit that does happen, look at it, there'll be enough time for that to happen, even with my sort of driving. But I sort of...
Also, I thought something was odd. I'm like, I just realised something. I think, I didn't do my thing, did I? Oh.
What's that?
I forgot, the last time I played F1 2013, I did it for UKSG, and I had to turn some assist on because the controller I was playing with was a PS4 controller, and unfortunately the triggers for the game were really weird. So like, for example, if I wanted to go, if I put my foot down, also, no, it was illegal, what? Yeah, so if I wanted to put my foot down,
I'm saying something
corners,
about speeding comments, but not looking at the moment.
it's pretty crazy. Like I decided to do, yeah, I decided that I wanted to do like a run of F1 2013 for UKSG, and I did it. And then what ended up happening was really funny because I didn't actually realise what was going on. Because I said to the guys that if you wanted to, like, to make it a bit more authentic, I said you can lean into the corners when I go.
Ah, you told me this, yeah?
Yeah, and they ended up doing it, and I didn't even realise the entire run I went without realising that they were leaning into corners. So I got like a particular scenario, like the Hungarian one, I think it was, the Hungarian Grand Prix one. Also, sorry button. And yeah, it ended up being really fun. Who's the other guy? So on the other end we have Toby, who is going to be my arch nemesis for this run.
Yeah.
If I can call him that.
Time for that.
No, he's a good friend of mine. I've not known him for years and years, but I have known him for years and years on YouTube and whatnot.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been what? Probably about 4, 5, even 6 years now. I'll lose track of time very quickly.
I think I started chatting to you originally, didn't I? Because of what was going on with Joe. Is it Joe?
Yeah.
When he did his cancer research thing and spent like a good few hours in that. Damn, that was fun.
That would have been about 5 or 6 years ago now.
And then we all met up properly, I think, didn't we? About 2 years later.
Yeah. I think it was EGX 16. I think I met you for the first time.
It was EGX 15 actually.
Was it? Oh yeah, it was 15.
Yeah, because
when
it
I
was.
went to the. It was right. I went the Italian Grand Prix a week
That
before.
was
I
it,
know
yeah.
that because I've got. It was Roberto Merri who I got a signature from, and Roberto Merri was in F1 for one very memorable season, so it had to be 15. Yeah. So yeah, and we met up at Silverstone. Was that? I have a feeling that was 17. I might have seen you at. I can't remember if I went 16. I think it was 17. So went 14, 15. You've already finished. That's painful.
I think so. Yeah. Sounds realistic.
So right. So I'm across the line now.
You know, you're not far away. Not far
on different
at all.
races. On different races, we'll have different strengths. So.
I forget we have to do that. You have to go through the section and then on to the next one. You do it on the PC
it's annoying,
as well.
Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it? Yeah.
No worries, Ryan.
Oh dear.
One day I'll stay up and watch a full stream again, but you'll look good. I appreciate it regardless, Ryan. It's nice that you can... there we go. It's nice to see you in here. Anyway. There we go. Got it?
I can't remember what my first run was of the rookie driver scenario. I think it was about 25 minutes. But obviously I had that bloody controller disconnect. I've bound to have at least one of those during this.
I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was... What was it now? Oh, I hit Vern. That's not good. I'm going way wide. This isn't good.
You know what the really bad thing is? I'm just coming down that straight thinking, oh, I'll just shift into 8th gear. Why is it not there? Why is it not? Oh yeah, there's not. It's only a 7-speed gearbox. But was it 14 they introduced? Is it 14 they had 8 speed?
Yeah.
It was with the turbos, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I mean, this is a pretty tough challenge, even on easy, to be honest, if you're not careful.
Exactly. Yeah. I remember there was a few of the scenarios are extremely difficult. Like I did, there's one in particular that on the easiest difficulty is only just, well, easy, shall we say?
Yeah.
Monaco. It's the Monaco one.
Oh yeah.
The Monaco one. I don't remember when that is.
I don't know, I did really well in the first run, didn't lock up at all, and then miraculously in this race, I think I've locked up at every single... Must be the Williams, Brian on the Williams.
Well, it's not too bad. It was a bad car that year as well, wasn't it? If I remember correctly.
Yeah. But it's why, I don't get why people are... I mean, they are terrible now, but if you think about it, apart from sort of 14 and 15, where they had 2 really good years, those are just blips, really, you know, compared to... Jesus Christ, you rest to break early, why don't you? Those are really good years, but the norm for Williams is that they've been pretty low down the pecking order.
They have, yeah. I think 20... What was it? Well, I'll say 2010, but 2009 they were kind of up there slightly.
Yeah.
Not much, but they were kind of up there, because like I said, when we did the run of... I think it was when we did the run of the Classics, when I said about how... Oh no, it wasn't. It was when you were streaming. I remember, and I said like it was funny because in 2009, all the big teams went to the back, and we had these new teams come to the front. Yeah. So like McLaren, Ferrari, you know, the best teams in, I would say the best teams in the sport, but the best teams of 2007 and 2008 that were fighting for the championship, they went to the back almost.
Yeah.
Almost to a point where it got extremely embarrassing. Also, thanks, Peak. Ooh.
15-second gap to the next car.
And then, like, over 2010 to 2013, Red Bull became a huge... I'd just say a huge problem. They became a huge force to be reckoned with.
They were the quickest car, but a lot of people seem to think they were dominant. I don't think they were. I think they were beatable on their day.
They were. I think 2013 they were unstoppable almost.
Yeah,
but
I think
again,
that was more
they
Vettel the second half of the season. Like, he was a roll, like from Belgium, he won about 9 races in a row, but I
Yeah, he
think
did.
2012, in 2012 they definitely weren't. You know, in 2010, but it was the odd years almost that Vettel had that championship game. Because in 2010 it could have quite conceivably been any of those 5 that won the championship. And if Vettel wouldn't have won that first championship in 2010, you just wonder whether he'd got the sport in 11. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, no damage? No, well, I clearly didn't get damage from hitting peak, but I mean, this damage is enabled, so I mean the next one involves us not having a front wing, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I remember trying to do a lap of China. I think I spun out on like an online race or something. I didn't have a front wing, and I was trying to do the S's without the front wing, and my god, was it horrible.
Oh, I can imagine.
Because you understeer like crazy, and you're like, okay, this shouldn't be too hard now. It's like, nope, it's harder than it looks.
Ooh, that's a bit, but we'll get away with it.
Also, I remember this year, because not only was Vettel dominant in the second half, Mercedes did that illegal tyre test, didn't they, as well? And Pirelli had the infamous tyres explosion at Silverstone as well.
Silverstone, yeah.
I'm not going to lie, I would have actually liked to watch that race live now. Because like each year I've been to Silverstone, there's not really been too great of a race, and the one year I didn't go was when Vettel won it. It's funny because it's like every year I've been, apart from the one year I've been, like Hamilton's won it. It's always. So it's like 2013. 2013 Rosberg won it, and I didn't attend the race, and then I attended the 2014, 15, 16 and 17 races, all of which Hamilton won. And then I missed out. And then I missed out the 2018 race, and Vettel won it. I'm like, like coincidence.
It's fair. I'm glad I wasn't at the 2018 race because I'd have been a bit sheepish in the stands after cheering after Kimmy took Lewis out. I'd have been going, yeah. Oh no! I mean, cheering for Williams overtaking Mercedes in 2015 was okay because it was kind of justified because they're an English team and all that. But no, cheering Kimmy for taking Lewis out, I'd have hid in the stands pretty quickly. The connection on the screen's not that good. I wonder if it's on Discord, perhaps. So where if you at what did you finish the second challenge?
11:30. According to the splits.
I'll take that. I'm 39 seconds then. I can take.
Just on the
That's 20.
what they call it. I'm on Hungary now. It's my worst track. Achilles heel, as it were.
So from 20 seconds behind on each challenge, that's minute and 40 each section, 3:20. So that's about 8 minutes behind after 2 hours. If you take that as an average, I can take that. And probably I will probably bring the gap in.
If I can do it in less than 2 hours, then I'll be pretty impressed. If I can do this in less than 2 hours, then I'll be impressed. Also, I didn't take Chilton off the track this time.
Missed the pit lane. Oh, it's okay. I'm back. I'm going to turn ABS on now because I've had it off for most of this in the head.
I find in this game I've always found the classic cars easier to drive than I have with the others. Like the 2013 cars without anti-lock brakes and without traction control, it's pretty much how, in my opinion, how they're meant to be driven. Also,
just wait until you do the 2040.
I know, yeah. I was gonna say, you think the nose cones are bad on the 2013 cars?
These are quite good, these challenges, to be fair.
I don't know why, but like Hungary and Monaco, I think, are two of my worst tracks ever. And if I win a race at either of those, it's seen as godlike.
Hungary, I'm alright at, but as you say, Monaco, every career mode I just dread going there because I know I'm going to finish really poorly. I don't know what it is about it, but I just don't like it at all.
I think,
So I always end up chipping my front wing or something like that.
yeah, don't they end up saying, like, for F1 drivers or something, it's one of them races where, because the walls are so close, you feel like you're boxed in almost.
Yeah.
And you get the same effect on the games as well. I mean, that's a good thing, I suppose. It's like, because you know that you make one mistake, like one little slip up, and you're in the wall.
I'll tell you what throws me at this track. The last corner, I always tried to stay too close to the inside. And I remember one of my career modes I did, I actually put the right front tyre into hit where it kind of hits. I had a DNF from the race. So always after that incident, I've always kind of been very scared to go on the inside of that last corner. I like to leave. God, Bottas dead in 19. Could you imagine that? I mean, a Williams in 19. If yes, I can do now.
I mean, nowadays it's like if there's a Williams in 14th place, that's seen as a great result, I think.
Yeah.
But back then it was just kind of meh. Because I think like Williams, if you finish like 14th in a car that's 2.5 seconds or, you know, like only just within the 107% rule sort of stuff, and that's pretty good.
I think with the Williams that year and with any time up to 2014, they were bolstered by the back teams. So having 4 cars behind you, it doesn't look as bad then, does it? It doesn't look like the situation's as bad. Like now, there's nobody to be behind them, so they prop the grid up. And if you wouldn't have had the Caterhams and the Rushes in 2013, that would have been the same thing. But because we had, and obviously we had Manor up until the end of 2015, 2016 as well. We had them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, well, definitely when Williams have competed for constructors, they've won. Is it 10 constructors championships or something stupid like that?
I think they won. I think it was like they won like I think in 10 years or something. They won like 8 constructors championships or something daft. I think.
You've only got to look at the drivers that Williams have had over the years. And
actually, no, that's not right. Actually, I'm completely wrong with saying that. It's not like 8 in 9 years. I think they scored a fair bit in 15 years. They scored, I think it was 7 championships or 8 championships or something. Also, remember when Williams was competing for constructors? The last time they did that was 1999. They've not competed for it since. Maybe the closest they've got to that since they won the championship in 1997 was probably. Actually, that's a good question. When was the last time Williams could compete? Was it like 2003 when Ferrari and Ferrari and Schumacher? Jeez, there we go again. Sorry. Yeah, when Ferrari and Schumacher were like that.
Before Maldonado won in 2012, which I still can't quite get over. They didn't win a race after 2003, did they? So they had a 9-year hiatus. That being said, you know,
2000, it was 2004.
Was it?
Yeah, McLaren hasn't won a race since 2012 neither.
Yeah.
So Williams and McLaren have got a point to prove. Actually, so's Renault, now that I think about it.
Yeah. Renault's a little bit different though, isn't it?
I think the last time McLaren won a race was 2012. The last time, actually, you put it down to that.
Race since 2008.
That was something they mentioned.
Good one.
The last time anyone won a race that wasn't a Red Bull, a Ferrari, or a Mercedes was 2000. I think it was 2012.
We bet Button when he won in Brazil, wouldn't you?
I think that was the last win for a constructor, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I do like the look of this Toro Rosso in 2013. I don't know what it is about it, but I do like the steering wheel, but I just don't like the look of that. I just like the look of the car.
I think that proves it, doesn't it? Just how like dominant and how good the Mercedes is.
Put you into the point. Hold this position till the end.
That Hamilton's won 54% of the races in the last 6 years. I don't even think Schumacher could do that, could he? Like, I'm not one of them people that compares Schumacher and Lewis together, but I don't think Schumacher had that good of a run, did he? Even when he was at his very best, I don't think he had
No.
stuff like that. Yeah, he had Mika as his rival. He actually had a healthy rival. See, I don't. I thought that between Vettel and Lewis, that their rivalry was going to be a good one, like healthy. But
Well, the issue is they're
seems
never
the
really
last
anywhere
few
on the
years-
track, are they? They're never really together on the track.
No, but like considering the
never
last
really
2 years, they were the two title contenders. It's like, were they really that good for each other? You know, was it really a case of someone's got a better car than the other?
Oh, just hit Perez.
I don't know.
Right. Penalty. Oh dear.
If the race direction
Come on,
loves
carry
Mercedes, it's easy. Yeah, it would seem like that. It's funny because everyone's like immediately turned. A lot of people have changed their minds over the last few weeks, in particular. Like, you remember when it used to be FIA stands for Ferrari International Assistance, and now everyone's jumping on Mercedes, like, oh, it's Mercedes. It's like, yeah, well, it happens, doesn't it?
It's an understandable comment to make. From the decisions of the last few. Like, it's not obviously it's not right. You know,
I mean, I don't think
There's no
it's right
bias
to
there,
attack one
but
team because they're doing so well. I think as somebody wrote the other day, or mentioned to me, or so, I think it was what I read on Twitter actually. It was something like, in terms of all of the drivers and everything like that, everyone remembers Schumacher, everyone remembers Ferrari, and everyone remembers stuff that he did and the way things were. People will remember Lewis for the same reason. It'd be like, remember Lewis Hamilton, the guy who dominated when he had, you know, he had that Mercedes that was unstoppable. Thing is, you say that, but a lot of people remember champions. That's what I mean. I still think they'll remember that though. Even if he doesn't have any competition, Sherlock, you know, even if, yeah, it looks like it's just literally him versus Bottas this year.
I think it depends
He'll
where you
get
are. In this
remembered.
country, definitely will, because obviously, you know, the most successful British driver. But worldwide, perhaps, I don't really know. No.
I don't know, it
Truly
depends. Everyone's different, aren't they, with who they remember.
Schumacher's a synonymous name. I mean, you know, there's less people who know the name of Ayrton Senna than you'd think. You
A
know,
lot of
I don't think
people, yeah.
everybody knows who Senna is. But anybody could tell you who Schumacher is. I don't think you could have the same. You could have the same with Lewis, maybe in Europe, all around the world.
I
I'd
think
feel
is
with
a lot of
Schumacher,
people that hate him. Funnily enough, a lot of people that will remember Lewis will be those that hate him. And it sounds stupid saying that because I was never a fan of Schumacher. I hated it that he just dominated races and won so many. I really did. I didn't never like Schumacher when he used to race in F1. I used to think, oh, his dominance is killing the sport, blah blah blah. This was way before what's been going on the last few years. I didn't think we'd ever see that sort of dominance again. Then I thought Vettel was dominant. And then obviously the last few years.
A second gap in his last sector. Push.
But then, like I said, we got the whole Mercedes thing the last few years, and my God, that is probably the most dominant streak I've seen ever.
Right, we're going to get the gap to 10 seconds.
I personally think, alright, yeah, you're going to get haters wherever you go, but those that do great will be remembered.
Right.
Lewis is not a fantastic champion, I'll say that. He's not a great champion. He's not the greatest champion that's ever lived. He's not one of those. I mean, one of my personal favourite champions was Mika Hakkinen. Yeah, alright, he only won 2 champions, but to me, he's got a good place on my list. Because I think like a lot of people, I don't know how many people will agree with this, or how many people will admit, but between him and Schumacher, they never really argued, and between the two, there was a lot of mutual respect between each other.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I said, everyone's different in where they stand with who the favourite drivers are and stuff like that. I'm not going to talk people otherwise.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I've always thought, I don't think anybody could, sway me. I think that Alonso is the best driver of the turn of the century, if you like. We're coming to F1 after 2000.
I think he left F1 on the bad note, me, personally. He did really well when he was in F1 and when he was winning races, but I think when he left F1...
But it is tricky. A lot of people, it is tricky to go out on a high note, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Did it the right way, won the championship and went. It's very win the, go out on a high note.
One thing that I do hate that people say, and this is probably a lot of Hamilton fans, I'm not included in this lot, because I wasn't one of them that said it. I can understand why people say it, but I'm also against it. The whole reason Rosberg left. He came out, right, Rosberg's reason, and I 100% believe him, I don't, disbelieve him, or not believe him. He left F1 because he'd inspired to be a champion, and he wanted to leave to be with his family. Which for me is an honest reason, and I don't blame him, and I completely understand he obviously has a family and whatnot, and it obviously must be tough, especially with the fact that they've got, is it 2 kids now?
Yeah.
Rosberg? So obviously he's got, he's got that thing, but then immediately, the moment he announced his retirement and everything, it would be like, a lot of people were saying, oh, he's only left because of how he knows Hamilton will beat him. I'm like, no, he didn't. You heard what he said. I don't get why people think that. I mean,
I'm not a Hamilton fan anyway, but I do agree with that actually. To some extent. I think he beat Hamilton, and not necessarily that he couldn't beat him again, but I think he would struggle to beat Hamilton again. And again, it's a mix of the both. Both elements. He wanted to have that career of F1, but then equally that career had drained him so much to be able to beat Hamilton again because of it. So not necessarily that he couldn't beat Hamilton because he couldn't beat him on the track, but that he was more of a grown man now and that he'd got a family, etc. So it would be the mental strain that F1 would have on him, not necessarily that, oh, well, he's beating what he's going to beat the good. But, that's what I think. But I have to say, I quite liked Rosberg when he was driving. I think he's such an irritating pundit now. He just tries to play Mr. Nice Guy and he's, oh, God, surely. I mean, there's quite a few driver pundits I like. That I'd say Rosberg's not one of them.
yeah, I don't blame you. A lot of people seem to like, is it Johnny Herbert?
Oh god, I think he's just there for the crack, honestly. I
don't really know what to put my finger on. A lot of people hate Martin Brundle, a lot of people...
Oh, Brundle, I think he's straight talking out. Probably Brundle and DC. I like Chandok as well. I think Chandok's quite good.
See, DC, I don't really know where to put my finger on him. Because he was an F1 driver at one stage, wasn't he? He was an ex-F1 driver.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like, he's had so many years doing the commentary and everything, it's like, oh, really?
Well, you could say the same about Brundle, couldn't you? Because Brundle's been in the commentary sort of 20 odd years now, since '97. Yeah, I can't believe how far you are ahead. I'm on the penultimate lap.
I'll probably be loading into my thing just as you're finishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, it's ridiculous at like how F1's formed over the last few years. Like how it used to be several manufacturers and, well, not only that, it used to be several manufacturers and the colour schemes of the cars were nice. Not that it mattered much, but I'm sorry, the cars nowadays don't have too much colour. They're getting there. Like, you know, with Racing Point being pink and whatnot. But the variety of colours just meh. Ferrari's always going to be red. Always. It might look at a picture of like 2000. The 2000 F1 grid. You've got near enough every colour, well, not every colour you can think of, but a lot of different colours in there, and the cars look so nice. If you try putting them modern liveries on cars now, sorry, them classic liveries on modern cars now, they don't look right, they look crap.
Yeah.
There just wasn't any, like back then, the sponsorship seemed to make a big difference, obviously. I don't know, like, it just seems to me like other motorsports have got better liveries than F1 does. Not that the way the car looks should be part of the show. Here's my personal favourite idea, right? And this is one that Sean Bull came up with, which was have the drivers' helmets as car liveries. Think of how different all the cars would look. I mean, obviously, he sent this to F1, and F1 being F1, they've not listened or even bothered paying attention. They probably looked at it and gone, that's a stupid idea, the cars would take weeks to design. It's like, well, guess what? I hate to say it, given the fact that he's designed all of the, the cars already, it probably wouldn't take him long to actually, won't take him long to actually do anything.
You've got to leave
Yeah,
room for other
yeah.
cars. We can't take too many penalties.
So that was a bit of an aggressive overtake on my part, but never mind.
Hold on to this position.
Wow, incredible! I basically just shoved the guy off the circuit and he went, incredible! You landed a clean pass. There's a lot of problems wrong with F1, and do you know what? I'm going to say this. For me, the engine isn't one of them. Like I said, I've got used to the engines. I'm fine with them, mate. Yeah, alright, they're not as loud as the V10.
Anything as long as they can race.
Yeah.
You don't need having a big bulky V12 or whatever isn't going to fix the racing, because you're going to get but Elvin, Jesus, you're going to get like we have now. You're going to get a team who masters that, but equally, at the moment, the team with the best engine in terms of straight line speed isn't, because as we've seen this year, it seems that Ferrari have now got the superior engine, especially on straight line speed. So it's not really about the engine, it's all about, and it's a bit of a sad thing, I think, a lot more about aero these days.
The main thing I think...
Switching the tyres on, but which no one cares about. No one cares about switching tyres on.
The thing is, refueling is a stupid idea to bring back. I don't like... The idea of refueling was great for a lot of people to watch, but we've actually got to get away from the whole 90s realisation. We're in the modern world here, not the 1990s.
But the thing with refueling
people are still stuck in it.
It'll be the same for everyone. Everyone will just have the same reduction in pace. If you think of the percentages thing, if you're giving, I don't know, if say refueling gives everyone 20% more pace, then everyone's performance is going to go up 20%. It's not going to make a difference. All it's going to do is just going to be more of a hazard, and all the eco warriors will be crying. So.
But this is the thing. It's like refueling was great when it was in the sport, but also extremely dangerous. It's like, yeah, but it's this and it's that, but nothing. It's a shit concept, and it wouldn't work with V6s now. Given how much, I mean, it's not like you know, fuel's going to matter anymore, because at the end of the day, what they're doing now is they're starting with max amount of fuel and the cars get quicker as the race goes on. It's a stupid concept. Refueling shouldn't be brought back. I don't think it should. It's dangerous, it was stupid, and it did work when it was in, but it was a bad idea at the same time. I honestly don't like refueling. Like I said, it worked in the 90s, it worked in the 2000s with gas guzzling cars. All it takes though, you say it's not dangerous, look at all the fire accidents they had. Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's something extravagant, something massive happens.
Past John Eric today. The wet weather should give us
Ooh.
an advantage.
Oh. Also, it's wet and I have no traction control. This is going to be hilarious. Hey, Vern knocked over the bollard. You say tyre change is dangerous, it's not as bad as what fire does to you. But then again,
Exactly.
that's why they've got... Well, then again, with fire, they've countered that now. Hang on, wait, if I'm getting people's points right, a lot of people want refueling back. I get this is what people want. It's not going to change anything. I'm sorry, it won't.
No, it doesn't. As I've just said, everyone's. If you have refueling, you're gonna have everyone with a similar amount of fuel. Okay, you might have some with less fuel than one, but it doesn't really make anything more. So all it does really is make it more confusing for us who are watching, really. Which
Not only
we don't
that,
need at the moment.
I mean, the multiple tyre manufacturers, yeah, I can get behind that, I understand that.
Yeah. But the only thing that gets on my nerves, like people are saying, is it's pathetic that the commentators, and what it's all about now is, oh, is he doing a one-stop, is he doing a two-stop, rather than is he actually going to overtake him? You know, they're on about, oh, well, he's going to score between twice.
Also, you've got to have reliability. That's why the V6 engines are really good nowadays. If you're going to build a modern F1 car nowadays, your best bet is to but to use a V6. It says, right, a lot of people want the noise back, a lot of people want refueling back. Like I said, I don't agree with refueling being brought back personally. I think it's a daft idea, and it shouldn't be brought back. Multiple tyre things, yes.
No. Doing an engine a race, really? Are you just going to increase disparity against teams? You're just going to have Ferrari buying up engines and you're just going to have teams like Racing Point and the teams with less money going, we got no money.
Not to mention, as well, if they won't be able to fit a chassis around an F1 car. Chassis around, sorry. If you brought back V10s and V8s, yeah, it would be a case of, you know, you brought back the V10s and the V8s, you'd have to redesign the car and all that. That's the only thing you'll be getting out of it. Yeah, V10s were great, but it's about time that people actually realised what they were. V10s were great, they had the power, they had the sound, everything. But look at the reliability. The reliability of an older V8, V10, V12, it was crap. The V6s are very reliable. Yeah, give me...
Not very often an engine does now, is there, really? Whereas back in the day, you had engine failures left, right and centre.
Exactly.
God, this first corner at Nürburgring.
Yeah, it's doing mine as well.
I haven't raced around here for a while. This was the last race they had around Nürburgring, wasn't it? 2013.
Yeah, maybe that actually might make it a bit more interesting, Sherlock, if they did that. Imagine how fast he gets at next Grand Prix if they did. That would be pretty funny to do, but that'd never happen, obviously. Here's the thing. I'm personally still waiting for the day they send F1 cars around the Nürburgring again. Not the F1 circuit, the old F1 circuit. So the big, what do they call it now, the Nordschleife? Nordschleife, isn't it? I want to see a car go around there, especially a modern one. You see sim racers doing laps and stuff like that, and it's like, come on, why don't you, even if it's for demo purposes, send them around there.
Yeah.
The thing is that you can't please everybody.
Personally, I watch F1 for the best race in the world. Not about engines or about power or I can understand the pinnacle and all that sort of stuff, but to have good racing now, you don't need the biggest engine. You don't need the biggest things. I don't like the world we're living in terms of eco stuff and eco stuff, but I think that sort of thing about engines comes down more to cost, and stuff like a cost cap is a fantastic idea. It makes sure that the likes of Ferrari can't run away with it and try and spend as much money as possible just to try and buy the championship. It encourages people to design cars and get parts in and different processes that actually make the car quicker at a lower cost. I think that's the more innovative idea, rather than just chucking money at engines or, I don't know, the fastest parts just to win a championship. Because you don't get anywhere then. The fascinating thing about the pinnacle of motorsport would be is if teams were forced to make, end the rules almost, if you like, with their, with different parts and all that sort of stuff, and to actually innovate and deliver something that's sustainable rather than just chucking money at engines and all that sort of stuff. Well, the richest team doesn't win. That's because Ferrari use their resources incredibly poorly.
Here's the thing, people think that the V10s were the best because of only one thing. I think it's just sound. That's the only thing that people remember. Yeah, alright, sound is a big part of being there, but nobody here has got enough money to go and watch every single F1 race from every location in the world. Nobody. Unless you're a millionaire, fair enough, by far, go and do what it is you need to do. But like, the V6s, alright, they're not the loudest. They're not. The hybrids, they're never going to be that loud. It doesn't matter what they do to them, they're never going to be as loud as V10s. Yeah, alright, you've got a point on that. But, again, let me mention, reliability and how fast the cars are. The cars are faster than V10s, for Christ's sake. And it's like, yeah, alright, bringing back V10s is going to bring back the sound, but that's it. You've no reliability and the speed isn't as quick.
No, sound doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all.
It is, Joseph, it is thrilling to watch the old races. But that's the old... It's something. Also, in case you didn't know, V10s were damn right expensive. It's like, yeah, well, V6s are expensive. That may be the case, but they're not nearly as expensive as V10s were. Plus, with V10s, remember how the fact that, like I said, the cars, it was practically, you got a new engine every GP. Personally, I think testing should be opened up. They are getting stricter and stricter. I think they should kind of relax on regulations a tad. Remember 2008? 2008 was when every car wanted to get every nook and cranny out of aerodynamics. And the cars, I hate to say it, they didn't look very nice. they were getting every bit of aerodynamic performance they could. In fact, I would say 2008 F1 cars were dangerous looking. Like, they were lethal. All the bits sticking out. I mean, yeah, alright, it's aerodynamic performance, but... And they'd just snap off if you accidentally went over a curb too fast. Or you hit a wall, they'd fly off. They wouldn't kill people.
Yeah.
You're doing great. Last lap now. Keep the car in this position.
But we do have this age-old debate about how to improve F1 and all that blah blah blah. It's just a cycle, because you get a new set of regulations, you get a new team that gets to the top, and you think, oh, hello, you know, we've got the change. And they would go, oh, it was like when Vettel dominated, and everyone's like, oh, we need to push Red Bull back. And all the new regulations does is either keep the same team at the top, or put a new team at the top. Unfortunately, you're never going to get a class where you're going to have different teams winning every week. The likes of 2012, where we had 7 different winners in the first 7 races, which is pure.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we can all talk and we can all argue with each other about what we're going to do to improve the sport, but at the end of the day, there's only one certain selection of people that can do anything about it, and that's the FIA. And the Motorsport Board. That's it. We can't do anything. I mean, I think it's recently Hamilton and Vettel, and I stand by both of them when they both said this. Lewis said the other day, so Hamilton said the other day, that teams should have no input whatsoever in rule changes. They shouldn't decide what happens next.
Yeah, I agree, because they only act in their own interest.
And it's more or less on a driver's approach. And then Vettel came across and said, you know what I think should happen? I think nor the drivers nor the teams should have any, and I mean any, input whatsoever into any of the rules and regulations. Let's leave it up to Ross Brawn, he can sort it out. And I agree with both points. Teams shouldn't have control of what's going on, especially what's going on at the moment, the 2021 regulations. Like, I'm sorry, that's getting really stupid. Also, I can't pronounce the name, Kukunen. Kukugyu? Thank you very much for the follow, I appreciate it. that's a name and a half, I'll give you that.
Oh, that's good. Wow, I've just completely just not noticed that the challenge has started, just gone straight into the wall at Korea. Dear.
But I think that in terms of what we've got at the moment with F1 is we've got problems. Every sport has probably got a problem. I don't know. It's hard with what's going on at the moment. You can
no
say what you
quick
like
fix.
about F1, but nothing's gonna change. The FIA will do it anyway. Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, electric cars are taking over big time, and I'm not gonna lie to you.
And I don't think Formula E is that fantastic. You know, you can watch races of that, and that can be so boring.
Yeah, pretty much. I think, who was it now? Someone said, I don't get the big deal with Formula E lately. In fact, if anything, this season's proved one thing. What's ironic is the fact that, in terms of Formula E now, is the fact that a lot of people refer to it as Demolition Derby. And I couldn't agree more. You're right. If anyone says Demolition Derby is Formula E, yeah, because you're guaranteed that cars are going to clobber into each other. You don't see F1 cars doing that.
Because I understand that. I found it good because with F1 the problem is if you hit someone, your race is and that's just a bit of a shame. But with Formula E, you've got that little bit more, taking a risk. But equally, because they are like go-karts and being someone who does a lot of kart racing, I know that if you bash someone out of the way, you can get past. And that's not racing then. And I know people like that who bash someone out of the way.
It's like if I wanted to watch Demolition Derby, I'd watch one of them stock car races from the US, not NASCAR, because I don't know, I don't find that interesting at all. But just in terms of what sports there is, Demolition Derby is not a sport. Formula E is a sport, and it shouldn't be Demolition Derby because obviously, like I said, that is not a sport. It's ridiculous. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Formula E this last year. I found it more exciting. But then, like you said, Toby, hitting somebody to overtake them, that's not a fun experience to watch. Like, all those that watch Formula E to see if there's a crash, they're like, yeah, this could, like, look, mummy, there's been a crash. Or everyone's going, yeah, crashing, contact. If you want to watch that, go and watch a Demolition Derby or Destruction Derby in the US. Or head down to your local...
Or just an F1 crash compilation.
Or maybe banker racing at your local circuit, if there is. If you're into that sort of stuff, you're better off looking elsewhere. But even, like I said, Formula E shouldn't be like that.
Everything else is an extra. That's its problem. Like, I love MotoGP. Absolutely love MotoGP because it's exciting, because it's got that variation. When you make a mistake, it can be so bad for your race. You know, if you fall off the bike, you ain't getting back on it again. Or equally, you're not getting back to the front. Whereas in F1, if you go wide, you know,
yeah, you just come back on track and you could probably make up the time.
Weekend at France, Lewis could have lost his front wing. You know, probably had a tyre blowout and still finish on.
See, I'm hoping that's why Austria. See, that's the thing. I'm hoping that Austria might do something like that. Not to Lewis per se, but it will do it. Given the fact of how Friday Practice 1, I think it is, has gone down today. It seems like, well, not Friday Practice 1, but Friday Practice as a whole today, it seems like the guys are really struggling, like, really struggling. Because I think, didn't Bottas crash in FP2 or something? Vettel spun off, Verstappen smashed his car as well, or clattered his car into the wall. It's insane. That doesn't mean... The thing is, though... Friday Practice... Here's the thing, I used to watch Friday Practice. Like, all the sessions, qualifying the lot.
So did I, yeah. Pretty much up to the last few races.
And then, I think after 2014, I just give up, because I did it for a full year. And I was like, oh, this is interesting, but really, practice is just that, it's practice. It's about setting up the car. If you want to watch the competitive lap times and the competitiveness, watch qualifying and the race, or just watch the race, I guess.
For me, I kind of make a commitment to watch practice for the first half of the year, and especially the last few years, when I've got that looking pretty much over, it gets less interesting. But I'm going to move away from F1 now, because I think that we've exhausted that. I might open a big cesspool of dodgy stuff, let's just say. You know, I won't say anything else. I'll just say 2 words: W series. What's everyone think?
I mean, that's a can of worms that... No, that's a can of worms. What's everyone's opinion on W series? I've got mine, but I am not... But I am not going to express mine. I'm keeping my mouth shut completely. Because if I do, I know for a fact that I'm going to really annoy somebody. So I'm not... You know, I'm not expressing my opinion. Yeah, W series. I mean, how would you explain W series, Toby?
Women.
Yeah, pretty much women motorsport. That's pretty much how I can. Also, how the hell did I not take a front wing off with that? Either way, cheers,
20 women, is it? 20 women, basically.
Yep, I think it's 20 women. No, seriously, O2, that's it. It's 20 women drivers who've got their own racing series and do, I think, is it 9 races or 8 races or something? I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
I'll be honest, I immediately saw W series and went, oh dear, this is not good.
Yeah. It's, for me,
and no, before anybody asks anything here, just know I'm not one of them idiots that went, load of women in a motorsport, that's going to end in trouble, innit? I'm not one of them. I was like, fair enough, they've created a series and I'm not really going to watch it.
The problem is, for me, it's great to get women into motorsport, and you know, to have 20 driving in a series is fantastic. However, the problem is having a series that is just open to women really opens a can of worms because it just causes more division from the. Because having a series just for women just highlights, oh look, this is women only, and it's like everything in life. If you exclude a group completely, because F1 doesn't exclude women.
It
there's
seems
nowhere
like
in
it
the
does. I
rules
think
that
that's
says
what's
a
going
female
on.
cannot drive. But it is just the case that a female has never drove in Formula One. You know,
I mean,
in my
technically they
opinion,
have, haven't they? But the last time an F1 driver was in F1 was the 1950s, I think. Was it 50s? I don't know. 50s, 60s?
There's never been an F1 a woman who's been good enough to drive an F1. Look at Susie Wolf. She wasn't good enough. You know, she did a few practice. She wasn't that impressive. If a woman comes along and comes through the feeder series, like any male driver, and impresses, they will be picked up. There is no, for me, there is no sexist arguments. Okay, fair enough, there might be some inherent sexism within Formula One, but for me, and I think for a lot of people, especially now in the modern age, for a lot of teams, if a female came through and was as good as a male driver, a team would hire them up, and that's just simple as. And all that the W Series does is just excludes anybody, and it gives more of a negative approach, I feel, than a positive one, because you're moaning at women not being in motorsport, but then effectively you're getting 20 women on a grid just for women. Like, it's very divisive. And as I say, it's like anything in life. If you start to exclude people, then you get division, and immediately you get some sort of dislike. You know, if you had a series that, I mean, I don't know how you get around it, but
I mean, I'm all for having
women
women in
in 10
motorsport, personally. I don't know about you, but
It doesn't
I'm
matter.
all for. I'm all having them in there.
As long as they can drive the car, and and can be one of the best 20 odd drivers in the world, which is what the point of F1. If you are one of the best drivers in the world, you should. And I know there's other factors that play like pay drivers and all that sort of stuff. People don't get their chance because of different things. And okay, you could say gender's one of them. But nowadays, I honestly don't think that's the case. When there is a good enough woman in motorsport, then they will get a drive.
That's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much what I would say.
10 years, I won't say, I hope in 10 years there's 5 women on the grid. I'm not going to say that because I'm not bothered whether it's a man or a woman in the car. If they're good enough, they get the seat. If they're good enough, they don't get the seat. It shouldn't be about anything other than that, and that's why I just don't, people moaning about it.
I mean, like I said, I'm all for having women in motorsport, but in my opinion, this was the wrong way to do it.
Yeah, because it's just a
I don't think
obvious division.
Yeah, exactly. I think that it's a case of, I think what I mean, I don't know if I'm on the right lines here, Toby, but just stop me if I'm wrong. Basically, if you're good enough to get into F1, you get into F1. If you're fast enough.
Bang on.
But if you're not fast enough, then you won't get into F1. It doesn't matter what race you are, what gender, it doesn't matter.
Unless
if you're quick enough, you get in. That's the idea.
Unless you've got a few million to talk about that.
I mean, right, it's like, let's look at some drivers, right? And because at the moment,
bang on about the sponsors.
It's like, if you look at like race, you can't have race as a thing. You just can't, because we've got the likes of Sergio Perez, you've got the likes of Esteban Ocon, you've got the likes of Lewis Hamilton. They're all different, some are different races, some aren't. But we have different races on the grid.
Yeah.
So you can't play a racist card for F1. You just can't. You're gonna make yourself look stupid if you do that.
Nobody cares. People say, whether Hamilton is, that if Hamilton is fully black, half caste, whatever you want to say, it doesn't bother me, and it doesn't bother a lot of people. As I say, I don't care who was behind the helmet. Whether they're transsexual, whatever. As long as that's my point. As long as they are good enough to drive, it shouldn't matter. But the issue is that all W Series does is promotes 20 women that wouldn't, you're lengthening the field that you could have. That's why you've got, I think you've got probably about, we've had the controller disconnected. Hopefully it was in the loading screen. But, you could have 10 good women on the grid, but it's not a good grid because you've got quite poor drivers on the. It's like that one in F2. I can't remember what her name is, but she's not in F1 because she's not as good as the other drivers. That's been proved. And yeah, exactly. Completely agree about Hamilton, that argument, because nobody cares. I am not a fan of Hamilton because of his personality. There's always bound to be some people. You can't avoid that. There are some people who do not like Hamilton because he is black. There are some people that do not like Sebastian Vettel because he's German. There are ridiculous reasons for new people not liking people. But I should say, a lot of people aren't bothered about Hamilton being black, and that's the problem. I think that a lot of people say, "Oh, if you don't like him, racist," but it's just not the case.
Shut the door.
Yeah, good idea. Oh God, Alonso's going a bit slowly. People loved Schumacher and he's German. Well, there you go.
Remember what I was saying before about how I didn't like Schumacher? I'll just say this. My reasoning, like I said, was nothing to do with what nationality he was or anything like that. It was to do with how much he dominated the sport. That was what used to annoy me, because all I used to hear about was
alright, Brad, you can come
Schumacher.
out and say you don't like Schumacher. We're all friends here.
No, it's like, Schumacher this, Schumacher that, and that's all I used to hear about. So I'd be like, shut up, stop talking about Schumacher. But now, if I hear his name, immediately I'm like, yeah, Schumacher was a great driver. It was, it's one of them things. I don't know. Like I said, that's personally how I felt about it. Also, thanks Alonso. Come on, get the position back off me. There we go.
That move was illegal. Return the position.
So what challenge are you on there? You're probably about 2 ahead of me. I'm on the first
Oh!
one.
Didn't mean to do that. I'm actually going to redo that.
Oh God, what happened?
I may have just took Alonso out there. Oops.
Oh right, okay. I'll never escape that, bro.
I'll never escape that. I thought I was Brad PUBG, Joseph. Jesus. Come on.
Should we move the conversation along? Let's talk about music, shall we?
Yeah. Let's not a bit move of. Let's move it away from everyone. I think I'm getting a bit out of hand.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about who's a neo-Nazi and that sort of thing. We could get into quite.
Yeah, things could go a bit far. Anyway.
At least with music, the only thing you could argue is, well, I don't like Michael Jackson. I suppose you could get quite into that, but yeah, well, alright, whoops, yeah, okay. Let's talk about music. What artist is everyone into at the moment? What can't you switch off? 'Cause there's always one artist for me that I'm like, every minute of the day I want to listen to their music, and it's just. You're hooked on some people.
I don't know why I've been listening to weird music at times.
Go on, tell me what you think weird music.
Well, I'm terribly sorry for Mickey's existence. I didn't watch it. I didn't even know it was on, to be honest. It kind of came past me by O2.
Seconds behind you. 5 seconds.
Like Le Mans, to be fair, for me, I completely forgot that was on. And I thought, oh right.
Yeah, I kind of just saw it on and went, I'll watch this for a bit.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the music. What weird music have you been listening to?
It was on. Oh, what was it? I heard it first on Facebook. It was one of them. Well, I say weird music. I found it weird, but it's kind of grown on me at all. A weird song. Sorry, I shouldn't say weird music. One song in particular that's grown on me, but I think it's weird. I first heard it on Facebook. I saw the video on Facebook for it, and I was like, "What the hell is this? Some weird Russian stuff." And then it was played during Ubisoft's E3 press conference a few weeks ago. I found the song and started listening to it, and then immediately I was like, "Yeah, I like this now." It was just weird. It was weird. Yeah, it was just really weird.
We're going to what music I like. We could be here all day. Oh dear. I think where to start. To say I like a range of stuff might be mocking my taste. I like a range up to a certain range. Put it that way. Let's say my range generally. I've got exceptions, but my range tends to go up to kind of the end of the 90s, and that's it. But you know, we can talk about it. Let's just sort that. Yeah, okay. But you know, 90s music, 80s music, 70s, even 50s and stuff like that. I enjoy listening to. But at the moment, I'm not Floyd, Queen, all that sort of stuff. No, a particular Floyd's one I'd recommend to anybody. That's an experience, put it that way. Stuff like The Dark Side of the Moon, that's
yeah, I remember you saying you were hearing that lately. There's one song that I picked up today. I remember the lyrics from it. You know what? Right, I'm guessing people have these songs. Toby, you might be with me on this, I don't know. Does anyone have them songs where they hear them on the radio or when they're broadcast, or like somebody's played them at a party or something, and then you'll hear it and you'll think you know the words, but then you actually won't? So like you'll hear a certain lyric and it'll be like, I don't know, like the one I heard was the actual song was "Girls on Film" by Duran Duran, and I kept thinking it was Girls Got Thrills" or something.
Oh dear.
So that's what I kept thinking it was. I keep thinking it was Girls Got Thrills. So I kept looking for it, Girls Got Thrills, nothing. Then my dad went, "Do you mean Girls on Film?" And I'm like, "Is that what it's called?" And he went, "Yeah, Duran Duran sings it." And I played it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's it." And he's like, "Yeah, it's Duran Duran." I'm like, "Oh."
Oh god, it's this gearless race where I haven't got third gear. It's really annoying me. I've actually never got into Genesis. It's been one I've been recommended to by my dad for quite a while, but never got into them.
Only reason I know Genesis is Phil Collins. That's the only reason I know of Genesis.
So, well, a lot of people know Genesis, to be fair. Move down! Fine.
Yeah, but then you try listening to a German song, O2, and you can't tell what any of the lyrics are half the time.
Apart from a bit of Kraftwerk from the... I'm trying to think of German bands. Kraftwerk, I think Kraftwerk were German in the 80s.
You can, yeah, because you're German, O2, that's why.
Boney M were German, I think.
Boney M were German. No, I don't think so. If they were German,
I'm sure they are.
Then that's not a good thing. I don't think... I don't think Boney M's on German.
Seriously, I want someone to search that up, because I feel like I'm not wrong. They are. Yeah, it's been confirmed they are. They are.
Rubbish, they're not.
Yeah, yes they are.
Wow, okay.
Russian.
I thought Boney M were Jamaican. Seriously, I did.
Dear. You'll be telling Queen were bloody Australian.
No. Yeah, of course I did. I mean,
Oh dear.
I'm serious. I genuinely thought Boney M was Jamaican. I didn't know they were German. They don't sound German. They sound Jamaican. I'm serious. The music
opening
does.
up, you could be opening up a whole race card here that you don't even know about. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Learn something new every.
Yeah.
When you said that,
Let's put it.
I
Let's
thought,
look on the bright side for this one. You learn something new every day. Let's kind of leave it at that. Oh my god, I'm all over the place.
God, yeah, Scorpions. Stuff people like Michael Schenker group, I suppose, as well. Yeah, UFO, I suppose that. Well, Schenker's doing that. I don't know about the rest. Oh, yeah, Scorpions. I like all the Scorpions.
There we go. So my gearbox just got worse.
Highlight to this run. Boney Emma Jamaican.
Found the night session on YouTube. Nice. Also, if I've offended anybody tonight, I am majorly sorry.
Yeah, imagine if you were on like national telly.
I might
Like-
be.
like a
I might be
music
in
clip.
some foreign country. Who knows?
Yeah.
By the way, people Google themselves, don't they? I Google my Twitch channel or my speedrun channel or whatever, my speedrun page. I think I typed in like the BPG 13 speedruns, and this website that I've never heard of before came up, and I was on it. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. This is fine, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is not English, this is not European, this is like Middle East. I'm like, I don't know what country this is, but I don't like it. Whichever website I'm on, this is just dodgy looking, so I'm like, nope, thank you, that's enough internet for today. Joseph, I unfortunately can't comment on that one. I've not listened to the Gran Turismo 1 soundtrack. So I can't comment.
The only bit I've listened to is the one on Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec, which is a song by Def in Vegas called Ice, and that's an absolutely awesome song. It was on Top Drip Kid driving anthems, and oh, it's a brilliant song. I mean, Bonnie Tyler, you can go away. Oh, we got another control disconnect. Let's focus on getting the scenarios done. That's kind of the point of this. Never mind listening to music.
It has
Madonna?
feed. Hang on, wait. Feed it and garbage. Do you mean garbage is in the garbage music, or is it genuine?
We might need to think about moving to fuel mix mode 2 in the
Oh, I see.
Just a good song.
causing some issues now. Let's take advantage of the conditions. We need you to push and get ahead of Vettel.
Oh, push and get ahead of Vettel. Now you're talking.
I couldn't really tell you who's in the charts nowadays. I don't really experiment with the new music now. Partly because I know I'll probably have a bad experience. I listen to albums that the older artists bring out, like Bruce Springsteen's new album, that's pretty good. Not Madonna's though, I think Madonna's better self-carried.
No, I saw that the other day. I was like, Madonna's released a new song, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, I know she's still going, she's still alive, obviously, but I'm like, God, releasing a song at her age now, that's got to be hell.
Album, it's not just a big album.
Oh, it was an album? I thought it was just a song. Because it just came up on
Yeah.
YouTube as a song. Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, I've got no intention of listening to it.
I can't imagine. I really can't imagine.
That's the problem. Some artists just go on way too long to kill their careers.
Yeah, like, some artists should stop, I think, when they have the chance, but some of them carry on thinking that the music's really good. And before you know it, guess what? You're in debt. Bankruptcy, here you go.
The best artists, really, the ones that leave you wanting more. You know, the ones that only do
There's like
a few
this.
albums or whatever.
There's some artists that didn't release many albums, but yet had some great hits and things over the years. They just didn't release like many songs, and they've kind of stuck to it.
Yeah.
But then there's them artists that keep releasing more. Like the modern world now, modern music now. I'm not gonna lie, it's crap. There's nothing decent coming out anymore. It's always the same. Rap this and rap that. You have stuff like
There
6
is,
9 and all that. I'm like, oh.
there's a few odd songs that are good. You know, there's the odd song I hear and I think, yeah, this is okay. But apart from that, no, there's nothing that really I'm bothered about.
Yeah, it's pretty daft, really, because it's like, you know, you've got some music that, I mean, music's not going to be the same. Obviously, you have to expect change to happen in the future. But the way the music industry has gone for like I don't know, the last 9 or 10 years, it's just getting worse. The last time I heard a decent song was probably 2012, 2013, if that.
Yeah. Did anybody hear about that? Universal had a studio fire where they stored most of the masters about 13 years ago.
Didn't hear about that.
It come out last week. It's only come out last week. That basically, when an artist records something, they have a master, and then a backup of that. So when they come back to make compilations or whatever, they can use that to develop the album. And then, so it's not, so when you're doing like a, I don't know, 30th anniversary album, you're not having a copy of a copy in effect. So obviously every copy, the quality is poorer. But no, that they had this fire basically, and for some stupid reason, they stored the masters and the backups in the same vault, which kind of goes against the idea of a backup.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, if you're keeping that and a backup in the same vault,
500,000 of these got destroyed and can never be used again. We're talking like massive songs like "Rock Around the Clock" and all that sort of stuff, and like massively varying music. Like we've got 50s stuff, 60s, and then you've got stuff like Tupac and Beyonce and that sort of thing. It's so bad, but it is.
I was say, imagine that sort of thing happening though. Imagine how bad that was. You can just imagine the look on Universal's face. Well, there goes all our assets. We've just lost like $54 million. Sorry, $1 billion. Like I said, I'm not a fan of modern music nowadays. Literally, like, a few lads at work...
There we go. I can hear you again now. You're a bit dodgy before, but it's okay. We're all good.
No problem. Yeah, it was like, the lads at work, they had the radio on, and I was listening to it, and I'm like, you call this music? The guy doesn't even know how to rap, for Christ's sake. Plus, who the hell calls that music? Like, rap is a weird subject for music, a weird genre. It either works or it doesn't, and in most cases, especially nowadays, it just sounds awful. Give me stuff like Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg from the 90s. Rap that was pretty decent any day.
Yeah, I regret setting him off on this music rant. I agree, guys. There's nothing I could do about it. I just want to appreciate some good music.
Like, rap for me is a category that I can't stand, but then at the same time, there's songs that are in that department that I like anyway, so... See, that's the thing, O2, that every radio stations nowadays, they just play the big ones, not the small ones. That's a big problem.
That's been the case for years, though.
Yeah, it's not like it's been around like the last year or so. It has been around for years. Like, some people, like you said, they probably do have, good stuff, but you don't hear half it because none of it goes on the radio.
I'll give you an example. Pink Floyd stuff was never on the radio back in the day. It never. The only one that was ever on the bloody radio was Another Brick in the... because that was their big, their massive hit. Even though it's probably the weakest song off the Wall album, which is just an ironic thing. But no, and Queen really. A lot of Queen's good stuff was never on the radio. It was always the pop they produced in the 80s rather than the rock stuff. And as a rock fan, that's the problem with radio. Radio has to be popular, so they play popular music rather than stuff that we might be more into. So stale, yeah. You say about Queen being stale. I've delved more into the archives over the last few months and terms of the earlier stuff, and I'm really liking Amalgamated. Like, stuff like Break Free and Radio Gaga, I think it's dreadful compared to some of the other stuff. Have you listened to much Queen though, Joseph? Like, the older albums, have you listened to much of that or not? Or just kind of more...
I've listened, I think, a lot of mine's late 70s, early 80s that I've listened to.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, half the songs, I went watching that Bohemian Rhapsody, and half of the songs that were in it, I was pretty much singing along to. So, like, obviously, Bohemian Rhapsody itself.
The one that went massive after that was Love of My Life. Not a lot of people had heard that before the film came out. Everyone was like, oh, I love this song now. And I mean, I was one of them, but...
Can't remember how that one goes, to be honest. Yeah, One Vision's a decent one, I think.
I do like One Vision. It's probably one of the highlights of a very weak 80s. No, I do like One Vision. I think that's a pretty good album, actually, Kind of Magic from 86. That's got Who Wants to Live Forever. Kind of Magic's a pretty good track as well.
I mean, like,
there's
a few. But yeah, sorry, go on, Toby. Keep interrupting you, I apologise.
So we know Joseph's favourite Queen song. What's everybody else's favourite Queen song? I'll have them out to you as well, Brad.
See,
if I want to break free, I'm off.
No.
Yay!
Radio Gaga?
Oh, that's the second worst option you could have given. Well, I didn't say I'd leave, so...
No, you didn't. No, I don't know. They made a few good ones, to be honest. Bohemian Rhapsody was a good one.
Oh, Bo Rhapsody.
5.5, 6 minute long song, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Also, sorry, Kimmy. Oh, I got a penalty. Boo. Oh, these yellow flags. That's fine. I'm gonna carry
on. I had to buy top 10. By the way, I will probably do one of those ever on the music channel at one point. Sorry, self-promotion. Stuff like their earlier stuff, like March to the Black Queen, Father to Son, and then probably Bow Rap's got to be in there. The Prophet's song from.
Do you know the one that I'm not a fan of that much? We Will Rock You.
It's not the best song ever.
No, I'm not too much of a fan of it. We Are the Champions gets way overused.
Yeah. That's the problem with a lot of songs. For
someone celebrates it's like, yeah, well, we've heard it like 100 times over.
Oh, Stairway to Heaven, now we're talking. Oh. I did a video over my channel actually about a week ago, Joseph, just about Stairway to Heaven.
Not sure if this is a fair comparison. I'll be honest. I've heard a few songs from Queen, but I haven't heard like every album, so I can't mention a lot of their songs. That's the thing. I am a fan of Queen. It's just there's not a lot that I've heard.
Yeah, it's more of a casual fan. That's fair enough.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the only way I can put it.
What's your favourite Pink song then, Joseph? Pink Floyd. I'm intrigued. I could pick a different one on any each day. It's so odd. I think that's like a lot of artists. Pick a different song every day.
There's two songs that come to mind when you say Pink Floyd to me.
Oh God, go on. Another brick in a row.
Go on, what were you gonna say? What did you say then?
Another brick in the wall.
That's one of them, yeah. The other one is Money.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I do like Money. It's probably not the best off the Dark Side album. Probably Time, as you say, is probably one of the best on that. Oh, I genuinely think the Animals album, is so underrated when compared to the other big three of the 70s. I think Sheep's probably my favourite one off the Animals album, and Dogs is a fantastic song as well. But I think overall, I think Shine on Your Crazy Diamond is my favourite Pink Floyd song. I think that's kind of like Pink Floyd's Bohemian Rhapsody almost.
I was going to say, I want to turn the music question to you now, Toby.
Go on.
Right, what are your thoughts on Nirvana?
I don't like them. I'm not a. I mean, I can appreciate it's decent music. Yeah, Animals is definitely an amazing album. That's the problem with stuff like Floyd. People will listen to Dark Side because, oh, it's Dark Side of the Moon, it's so popular. It's so iconic for the cover. But then stuff like Animals, unless you're a true fan, people just don't listen to it. And equally, you know, I don't know about you, Brad, but if you saw a song that was 15 minutes, would you listen to it?
Probably not.
There you go. So, you know, a lot
I
of the
mean,
songs
literally just before we started, I was watching the Thriller video for Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
He's 12.5 minutes long. I didn't realise it was that long.
To Echoes by Pink Floyd, that's like 25 minutes.
Well, I mean, I didn't think you could make a song like that long, but it's the music video. The actual song itself is like, what, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Maybe 8 minutes, but that's actually...
Yeah, they do drag out the video.
15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a good video though. Right, Nirvana, you were saying.
Nirvana, yeah.
They are, again, I don't want to offend anyone, they're just not my cup of tea. They're certainly listenable.
Or as,
but again, not...
like I say, or as Joseph calls it, Nebrana. Because I end up...
I'm not a fan of it,
I've done... what's it called? I've ended up doing... as Joseph knows, I've ended up doing like a few... I'd say show and dance. You know, what they call it? Play me air guitar, so to speak. It's a laugh at the end of the day. That's why I did it. Joseph seems to like it. He clipped it as well, and I'm like,
You're not getting away for that one for the rest
yeah,
of your life.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very much my crazy moments. Yeah.
Pipe at the Gate to Dawn, Joseph. I've never really delved into it. I'm not a fan of the Sid Barrett era of Floyd, to be honest. It was just completely different, but equally I'm not a fan of Ghost Wall either. Final Cut's a bit weird, but Momentary Lapse and Reason and Division Bell's okay, but not fantastic. Just trying to think of other AC/DC, Brad, favourite DC song?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Favourite, probably... I don't know, Back in Black, Highway to Hell, If You Want Blood You Got It.
Oh, that's a fantastic track.
Girls Got Rhythm.
Yeah.
I think what else? There's a few others. God. Can't remember
I think
now.
it's got to be like Let There Be Rock for me. I think that's an awesome song. But some of the ones you mentioned are brilliant. Shoot to Thrill.
Shoot to Thrill, yeah. My dad likes TNT. TNT.
Yeah.
My dad loves that one.
Ones. Yeah. Some people obviously were married. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm reading a book about Floyd. I've got a picture book, The Legend of Pink Floyd, and then The Dark Side of the Moon, The Making of. They're pretty good books I'm reading. And then I've got Nick Mason's Personal History of Pink Floyd, and Pink Floyd, The Inside Story, Pigs Might Fly. So I've got plenty of good books to be reading there. But no, I really like AC/DC. I'm trying to think any other.
Bit of a big AC/DC fan, aren't you, Toby?
Yeah, I do like DC. Trying to think, you recommend something to me, and I'll say if I like them or not.
Def Leppard, Photograph.
Not bad. I mean, I've not really delved into much of their stuff.
I've not. I just heard that song on GTA 5 and I liked it. What else? What else could I recommend? Oh, that one from the other night. Twisted Sister, Shoot 'Em Down.
Oh yeah.
And The Kids Are Back as well as another.
Saucer Full of Secrets, yeah, Joe. If it's but it's not a sorcerer, as it's saucerful. So like can't think what I can. So sauce, like tomato sauce with an R at the end, and then F-U-L. Oh, that's a terrible thing. But yeah, a saucer full of secrets. Then we have you can do me a little test now on the Floyd album. Yeah, that's it. Saucer full. Yeah.
I like how it's turned into like quiz night now.
I know. Yeah. So you had Piper,
There you go, there's
Saucerful
something
of
for everybody.
The More album, which is a film soundtrack. Atom Art Mother, Medal, Obscured by Clouds, another film soundtrack. Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, Animals, The Wall, Final Cut, Momentary Lapse of Reason, Division Bell, and Endless River. Way! Look at me, little music buff. I do the same with AC/DC. I might struggle a bit more with that one. Because it was really weird with AC/DC, because first... God, yeah, Gummer. Oh, sorry, I got it wrong, I missed out one dreadful album. Yeah, Gummer, that's a weird album. Somebody said to me that's a weird album, I thought I'll listen to a bit of it, and that is weird. Yeah, it's not one that I'd particularly jump to. But no, AC/DC are weird, because obviously firstly they released just their stuff in Australia, so you ended up having like stuff that was released in Australia, some that was released in the UK, and the songs differed on each album. So like I've listened to, I've spoke to Australian people and watched their reviews on stuff, and they're talking about songs that I'm going, what on earth are they on about? Because I've never heard this before. But no, it was just on the Australian editions. Final Cut was good. Now admittedly, Final Cut's not what I've really looked into. When the Tigers Broke Free is awesome, but that's have you watched the Wall film, Joseph? That's awesome. No, When the Tigers Broke Free was added to that on the 20th anniversary edition, but I haven't really listened to the rest of the Final Cut. It's definitely something to get into.
You know Dire Straits?
But I think the problem with Dire Straits, there's a few tracks Dire Straits I like.
You know Money for Nothing?
Yeah.
At the start, when it properly kicks in, where you've got the electric solo. Is it electric solo? The guitar at the start?
Yeah.
The bam bam or whatever it does. Right.
Here's a quiz question. I'll just interrupt you there. Here's a quiz question.
Oh, go on.
For anyone. Who did the opening bit on Money for Nothing, I Want My MTV? Who sung that? Or who did it well? Yeah. Go on, continue.
I want to say David Bowie.
No.
I don't know why.
Way off.
Is he in a rock band?
You could call them a rock band.
Pop band.
They were classed more as new wave.
Ooh.
Yeah.
New Order? Somebody from New Order?
No. I suppose new wave might put you off a bit from the I'm trying to think now how I could think. I will get a bit. I mean, you might get this straight away. You'll be like, what on earth is you on? A bee might do this to you.
Go on.
Yeah, come in. Yeah. Oh, hello. What? I haven't got. Yeah, I'll do it at the beach. Yeah. Can't do it now. Do it in a bit. Boy, I've come with a cup of tea. I was getting excited then. Deary me.
Cup of tea.
What was I saying?
Something to do with... Yeah. Something to do with Dire Straits. Who sang it and whatnot.
Yeah, who sang the first bit of Money for Nothing, yeah.
I don't really know.
It was Sting from the Police.
Oh!
You know, Roxanne and everything.
Oh, yeah, I know
him.
the Police, yeah. I say I know the Police. I'm not in trouble with the Police. I know of the Police.
I want my MTV. I mean, I just can't go as high as that.
Nothing and your kicks for free.
But Money for Nothing's awesome. Sultans of Swing's another one I'd recommend.
Sultans of
as well.
Swing is fantastic.
Track.
My mate can play Sultans of Swing. He plays it brilliantly. I watched him play it live, and it's even better. I'm like, ah.
Yeah. Roger Waters used. I've never listened to any of Roger's solo stuff. It's all in sort of the equivalent of the YouTube Watch Later on Spotify. But yeah, I'll get round to it at some point. Sort of Swing, brilliant song, yeah. Just trying to think what else we've got. Rock bands, all that kind of thing.
Oh, that was what I wanted to say. Yeah, the start of Money for Nothing, the guitar solo. has that not been in a film before? Like introduced the start of a film or something?
I don't know.
Because I have this weird feeling about the start of the song. You know where it kicks in, you know, the doom, ding,
Yeah. I know what you mean, yeah.
That part kicks off a certain film, or is in part of a film. The problem I have with it is the fact that I don't know what the film is, but I'm pretty convinced that it's in a film somewhere. And there's like synchronized explosions going off or something when it's being done. It's really weird. I keep thinking it's in Kingsman, but I don't know.
I'm not much of a film buff, so probably won't be able to help you out there. Right, what challenge are you on there?
The tires are on fire, if I can call it that.
Oh, God.
Driving on ice.
Oh, driving on ice?
Yeah.
That's alright, on the same one as me. I'm not a Metallica fan. I say I'm not a Metallica fan, never listened to any of their stuff, so...
I'm the same.
It's scary, really, because for someone who's got like 2,000 songs in their playlist, and I think, oh, look at me, I'm a, music fan. There is so much music that I haven't listened to, that I would quite like to, but I don't listen to it all at once. So we are on to the final year, driving on ice, yeah. No, I'm not Metallica. I know a few of their songs, but I couldn't say I've listened to any of them. We've got Enter Sandman. Is that a Metallica song?
Enter Sandman, there's one of them.
Yeah.
Old Nightmare. There's Old Nightmare Long as well, which is about 7.5, 8 minutes. I think it is. Roughly.
You mentioned Led Zeppelin earlier, Joseph. What's your favourite Led Zeppelin song? I think it has to be Stairway to Heaven for me. Maybe a Whole Lot of Love, didn't it? Right, what have we got to do on this driving on ice one? To survive on crap tyres till the end?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, God.
Easier said than done, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Although I think it's harder, for some weird reason, I'm convinced it's harder on Xbox than it is on PC.
Possibly. Probably the Immigrant song, that's an awesome song. Sorry, again, I can't really get that right.
That's all I heard on my end.
Kashmir, yeah, another great song.
You know, you were speaking about Pink Floyd before.
Yeah.
I just remembered something. On the IT crowd, there's a point, I think, in that show, where he goes, "We don't need no education," and Moss just turns around and goes, "Yes, you do. You've just used a double negative." It's like, oh, for God's sake, why? This is so insane watching this race again. See, I would watch it, but I don't have 4 hours to watch it. I say 4 hours. I don't have the time to watch it. I love that. Yeah. What is it now? He mentions about, it's like, what's that noise? It's like, what's all that crap? It's like, no, leave it. It's like, I need to get rid of this. I need to sort this. No, leave it. I'll have it all like it. How you like it, Jen? If this was a person, I'd shoot it in the face. It's like, what's it saying now? It's like, but I just need you to install a browser. It's like, that's the browser there. Underneath the picture of the lady. The lady's not supposed to be there. It's like, but it's like Internet Explorer is a browser. It's like, but Roy, that's the button for the internet. The button for the internet. Jesus Christ. Really? I love it.
Which Gran Turismo games we played? Well, the problem is I obviously haven't got PS4, so I'm not ever on that side. I haven't played any of them in depth. I've played probably 5 and 6, a fair amount. 3 and 4 a little bit, but nothing really beyond that. My experience comes a lot more with Forza. But GT3, I know that Aisha was in that, just purely because I got researched onto that song and just yeah, I found out it was infringed. I mean, I tend to play these games at some point, but it's just all about time at the end of the day.
Yeah, Joseph, if you want to ask him like loads and loads of questions, I'm sure Toby will happily answer them. Keeps him busy whilst he's doing his run.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I love answering questions. I love a good Q&A, especially if it's about like music, something that I'm interested in. Because you can imagine people of my age, our age. It's a shame, really. I think it's understandable.
I'm not stealing your fire, I promise. No, Joseph, don't think you're not stealing my fire.
Who's Brad?
You bloody hell stealing me thunder or stealing me fire. I'm not bothered. You ask as many questions you want. Oh, I'm on the Monaco one.
Yeah, this is when you crash and just ruin your entire run. Woo.
Pit crew will ready option tyres for your next stop.
There we go. And he's in. Yeah, don't worry, Joseph. I'm not bothered. If you want to ask questions, Toby's not been round here very much, has he? So obviously you can ask him questions. It's the whole point, anyway. I don't mind. Gives us, like I say, it gives us something to talk about. And you're not stealing my thunder. Don't ever think that. Nobody steals my thunder. I'm weird as it is, anyway. So unless someone's weirder than me, then maybe, just maybe. You know what I'm like. I'm a crackpot, anyway.
I've done a speedrun of Bob the Builder. I think that's pretty weird.
Guest appearance, Joseph. I don't have many, and the last one I had was you. I don't have many guest appearances.
The bar's not that high. The bar's not that high.
Either you set yourself a very low bar, or Toby's just exceeded that by a mile. Like, I don't have many guests on. I mean, it's not like I do a chat show. You had, yeah. We don't speak of that, yes. Yeah, you're right. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'll give you that, Joseph. I'll give you that. Yeah. Also, if I could, I would react to that with a lol face, but I don't have a lol face to show. Yeah, lol.
I'm so excited to have a drink after this.
Rosberg!
The sun always shines on TV. Now, there's a classic. If anything, Joseph, come over to my streams at one point, because there's some cracking tracks. If you hate the game, oh well, but I tend to play one or two decent songs. I even do a bit of a karaoke turn sometimes.
Yeah, I believe so. I remember. I think it was. There was not a picture, but there was something that you posted. I can't remember. I don't even remember where I saw it now. I think it was Facebook, maybe. And it was basically like not you having gone karaoke, but someone was saying, "Oh, Toby's really good on karaoke, killing it with the karaoke." And I was like, which regards killing it though? Is he knocking them dead or?
Yeah.
You have to be a bit more clear about this.
I might give a different opinion on that to other people, yeah.
It's like killing it. What you mean? You actually killed everybody off and everyone went home, or did you actually kill them? Like, whoa, blow the socks off. It's like, go on, you have to be a bit more clear about this. Also, nice corner cut.
There's some songs you can't karaoke. That's that's a fair comment, but
no, there isn't. You're right. Karaoke, yeah.
They all come from me.
Good viewership tonight too. People like this game. I have no idea why. Maybe because Toby's here. Toby's bringing in the viewers here.
Should I come every night?
Yeah, please do. Yeah, I mean, like, I'll be straight up about this, Joseph. What I've said tonight, I don't mean anything in a bad way. I said this before, and, you know, I'm not going to get all apologetic like I normally do.
I bet Boneyhead be Jamaican, yeah?
Yeah, well, there's a highlight. There you go.
Let's gloss over that.
But yeah, like, if anyone's offended by anything I've said, I do apologise. The door's always open, and I do apologise. I understand if people walk out or don't like what I've said.
Oh, it's alright. I've said a lot worse.
That's what I mean. And if I don't know anything, again, like I said, please don't hold me responsible. Also, sorry, Barras, in the wall you go. I hope have we got any Checo fans in tonight? If we have, then no one's going to approve of me doing that. But you're right, Joseph. Yeah, we've had a good viewership tonight. And I'm kind of glad that I did that talk last night, you know, at the end of the stream yesterday. I don't know if you were around at the end of yesterday's stream.
Yeah, apologies about that. I wasn't there last night. I got a few fit. Don't lick your arse on the your arse in the door on the way out. Yeah.
Don't let your ass hit the door on the way out. If that's the way we put it nowadays, Joseph, then yeah, I guess what he said. Yeah, I don't know how many people were around.
Door, or doesn't close one door, he opens another one. That's right. Now you open that door and bugger off.
I've opened that many doors. I'm near enough Tomb Raider at this point. Oh, that was close. I was around, but I was kind of bored. I was there, but there was no action. Yeah. I remember you saying yesterday. Also, that's so good. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Well, basically, all I was talking about yesterday, I got chatting about ESA and all that stuff because it's obviously less than a month away. But the main thing which I spoke about yesterday was depression and all this stuff, whatnot. Yeah, I can understand that. I think it was a good chat as well. I think I did ramble on a bit too long and probably scared a few people off with saying what I did. Yeah, exactly. It was just I felt like yesterday I needed to say it, and it's not like, well, you could have held on to it, but it's like you'd probably if I was fed up with my life or I was fed up with something and I had to give my opinion on it, then maybe I'd mention it. I always forget, what does TLDR mean?
No, you're asking me. I'm about the least mod person round here.
Ooh. There we go. Around the back of Maldonado's gearbox.
Is finishing the job the last challenge?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So we might... I might do... Oh, well, I might just be able... I don't know, it depends how long the last two...
Ah, I see, Joseph, I see. Yeah, that's why I was saying, did you watch the end of the stream? Because that was when I said it. But if you didn't read it, probably the last 20 minutes of yesterday's stream. The stream's still up. I'll probably highlight it and just say there you go if you want to watch it. To be continued. Yeah, that's a good one, actually. Do you know of that song?
What song?
Roundabout by the band Yes.
What's the opposite of yes?
No.
I mean, again, it's another band that I found some vinyls out of theirs the other day. But I'll have to listen to something like that at some point.
That band also sings that song, Owner of a Lonely Heart.
Yeah,
Owner
yeah,
of a lonely heart. Owner
perfect,
of a lonely
perfect rendition. Like listening to the radio. Oh,
Owner
just smashed me
of a
through.
lonely heart. Yeah, Joseph, I thought I'd just throw it out in the open because if I hide it, people won't understand. I don't think. Not everybody, some people do. So are you at Silverstone now then?
Well, I've just finished the Monaco one, so.
How did you get on with Monaco?
Hit the wall a few times.
Yeah, I think I cut a few corners in that one. Oh crap! I went way wide there. Sorry, Alonso. Can I keep past him? Yes, I can. Nice. Oh, can I get Vettel? Is that Vettel?
I thought this was going to go really slowly. I thought, oh god, we've done half an hour. We've got like 3 more of them to do. But I can't believe we're nearly 2 hours in there. 10 minutes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this stuff that I don't tell on Twitch, that I keep private for obvious reasons. Twitch is not the place for revealing everything, because otherwise, yeah, it would have some sort of impact. I know it would, but I think depression is something you should be open about. Really, I mean, if you don't want, personally, I think it's. If you don't feel comfortable with it, don't do it. I did it because I was comfortable, and we've said, you know, with saying it, and there's not that many people that suffer from depression that speak out loud about it. And in terms of what's brought this on, nothing. That's my answer. Nothing's really brought it on. It's not because of... Is it Otka or something, Joseph, that died recently? Because he was suffering from depression and all that stuff. It wasn't him that caused me to come out with that. It's something I've said on occasion and stuff like that, but I've never said it on my stream before.
Tricky, I think, you know, we all have periods, and I've had periods where like that, and yeah, it is tricky because it sometimes you feel like you're in a rut you can't get out of, but yeah, it's a tricky one because everyone's personal situation is so different, you know, for different things. So
yeah, exactly.
like you say, I think that, yeah, definitely. I think everyone has it. Everybody has it. There's not anybody who, no matter how rich or famous you are, or how wealthy you are, or how happy you are generally, everyone has a bad day.
See, I think I've got... I'm pretty sure this is a saying from somewhere, but I've maybe twisted it slightly, as in may have gotten the wrong end of it, or changed part of it. But it's
can't have one without the other.
No, not that. It's the happiest. The guy who had everything was not the happiest guy in the world. The guy who could have everything was not the happiest guy in the world. You could be rich as anything and still be depressed. Because sometimes on some people it just, because it has that bad of an effect on your life, it's...
Yeah.
Not even money can cheer you up. And most people think money can cheer you up. Everyone gets cheered up and brought down by different things, don't they?
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Money's
That's
not
what I
like
was
the main
saying,
one for everybody.
Every different situation is different. And, you know, going about happiest and all that stuff. I think that what I've learned is to just take positives a lot more into account than negatives. You know, take that you are going to have some negatives, and that's just life. You know, if everything was hunky dory, there'd never be a problem.
Yeah, exactly, Joseph. Exactly. At least, you know, you've got that feeling at the moment where you've been studying hard and long for the last 2 or 3 years, and the fact that it's paid off, you know, you've done what you've done, is really good. And it's something you should definitely be proud of. I'll be honest, I wasn't proud of what I did when I finished doing my uni course, because it wasn't to do with depression or anything like that. What it was to do with on my side was that in terms of the course and what it could teach you and the things that you got taught, kids nowadays are being taught more advanced stuff than what I was ever getting taught in college and in university or on my uni course. Like, kids can get taught the same stuff in high school than what I got.
It's quite funny that exactly say that. I in my
horrible.
last year that I did, this year I helped the first year 7 class, and like you say, I remember when I was in year 7 doing IT, we did bloody Movie Maker, for God's sake. They're doing like binary and all that, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, we never did any of this.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's one of them things.
You've been given a drive-through penalty for unsportsmanlike behaviour.
With me and technology, and to be fair, with a lot of things in my life, particularly technology, it's always been self-taught. You know, Photoshop was pretty much taught myself. Oh yeah, Excel and PowerPoint.
I think we had something called Serif Page Plus or something. We had to create a car magazine. Funnily enough, I've still got it. Ha! Like we had to do like a magazine or something, and you could make your magazine about your own things. So you could make it about games or whatever. And it had to be an original idea. So I made one about cars with like explaining what the cars were and stuff like that. And I did like, you know, like copy and pasted a barcode or something.
Yeah.
To kind of make it seem a bit more genuine, a bit more authentic. But then, like you said, you see kids nowadays, they're doing like coding of games and stuff like that, and you think, geez, I wish I could do that when I was in high school. But then that's how the education system's changed. That's what it is. It's just, you feel like now, you feel like you were born in the wrong place at the wrong time.
But then equally in 7-8 years time, like I've had said about they're doing that in year 7 now, the relationship will be the same when those people get to my age. You know, everything advances all the time. Unless you're doing English and maths stays the same because you've always got the same principles. But with technology moves all the time.
I'm not gonna lie, we had like kids doing in high school. It's things that haven't changed are like antisocial behaviour. So like, there's kids that are still doing, you know, you've obviously got them Red Bulls that try and do, you know, they do the smoking. Nowadays it's an e-cig, something that won't kill you unless you really try and exaggerate it. No, really try and overdo it. Also, I got out in front of Perez, yay!
Yay!
Yeah, so like you said, you get, you know, rebels and stuff like that. You get them everywhere, to be honest. People who don't believe the rules are for them and stuff like that. But that's not changed very much. And also, antisocial behaviour doesn't change very much, but education obviously has. That's the thing, Joseph. What's let me down is the fact that people younger than me know more than me.
Everyone's got their unique skill set, though. You know.
I think like realism's finally kicked in. Because I mean, imagine our parents now. Like we were being taught stuff in high school and primary school, and they never got taught that stuff.
Yeah.
So we're now. That's what I mean. Like we're now in their shoes. We now know what it feels like to be. I would say cheated, but it's not really cheated. It's more the people younger than you are getting better educated. I think that's a good thing. If they're being,
it's just better
if they were
being the current world.
Yeah, if they were being educated less, then that's a bad thing because that. If I'm being honest, our world would be screwed if that was the case. So in a way it's a good thing, but obviously I've always seen it as a bad thing. Yeah, I can always go back for a year, but I haven't got the time or the money to do it. Plus, I'm in work now. I work a 5-day-a-week job. And half of what I did, the sad thing is half of what I did at college and uni, I don't use half of it. I don't even use any of it. I don't code games at work or anything like that. I wish I did, but I don't. It's what I end up spending most of my days doing is packing boxes with tape and a Stanley knife for customers. You know, you ripping off bubble wrap, lifting heavy crates every now and again, stuff like that. And to be honest, as much as I hate it at times, as much as it's the same stuff different day, it's okay, it's bearable. It's just, you know, it feels like I said, this is probably the depression talking, but all this factors into why I feel down and out sometimes. Kids nowadays have got a better education than me. You know, I'm not using. I spent 4 years.
Don't worry about what you can't change. You cannot worry about what's out of your control. That's the problem with social media. It shows things that are out of your control. You know, I wouldn't be worried about that. Focus what's in your control. Focus what you can change. You know. And
also, why do I get the feeling we've gone to like the proper real talk now?
Well, it was your fault. What can I say?
No, it's just the fact that we've gone to that now. Well, then, like I said, yeah, it's me that's done this.
Yeah, exactly, Joseph. You know, it's a boring saying. It's a cliche, but just look at the lives of other people. You know, it's a lot worse. I know it's the massive cliche and boring, but you know.
No, that's right. It's the same with cars. My dad seems to think this, and I don't blame him for thinking it, to be honest. I think he's right. Like, with cars, for example. Cars are a big one on my part. Seeing somebody else drive a better car immediately makes me feel like crap. And my dad's like, well, just don't look at the cars and look at what they've got. It's like, you've got a car. You should think about that. You know, stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, but he's got this car, he's got a state of the art. It's like, yeah, but he's older, so he's probably going to have more money than you. He's worked longer. But then you see, like, kids are getting cars nowadays. Some, like, for example, my cousin, who's, I think, about 2 years younger, he's recently got a brand new Audi. But it's a A1 or something like that. But here's the thing, here's a car.
In my opinion, I know exactly what you mean. You know, obviously I'm a fairly new driver and I've got my trusty Mini and, you know, I pay decent money for that and pay less than £1,000 on insurance, and I couldn't be happier because I just look at people who have bought new cars on finance and are paying double, treble the insurance. I think you're just a prat because, you know, like you said, you know, you've got to climb up the ladder. And that's what a lot of people don't realise these days, the value of money. But as Joseph says, looking at other people is the worst thing you can do because the only person you know everything about is yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, on the outside, things might look fantastic for one person. They might have the best car, they might have the best job. But there is always some negative in everybody's life because not anybody's life is all rosy. That's a fact. But no, just focus on yourself. That's what That's what I do. Sod anybody else.
Well, it's like my dad was saying. Well, I had a chat basically. Like, so my cousin got a new car the other day. But here's the big thing. Here's where me and him differ. His car is on finance, meaning he has to pay a certain amount of money a month. Yeah, he's got to pay like a certain amount a month. But at the end of the day, he doesn't own that car outright. My car, I own that outright. The entirety, 100% of my car is mine. So I can do whatever the hell I like with it. He can't. He can modify it if he wants. But unfortunately for him, if he does that, he can incur some fines and stuff like that. And it's like, that's where my dad looks on the bright side. He's like, look at it this way. He doesn't own the car properly. He might think he does, and it might look like he does, but he doesn't. You own your car outright. You know this. You own the car. You bought the car outright. You buy your own insurance. You do your road tax. You know, you buy everything for that car. So it's like when you see people driving around these fancy cars or these brand new Mercs. Most of them don't even own the damn car.
It's just consumerism, really. You can put it into a lot of things, and But if
Like-
everyone's different, you know.
It's like,
If
I've seen a
someone
load of my mates
wants
go on
to-
holiday.
if someone wants to finance an Audi, it's their choice. They've got to pay for it. Yes, they can drive it around, but they've got to pay for it. But you know, whatever you know, you could disagree, agree, whatever. But just stick to your guns and yeah, everybody might be driving them exactly. Yeah.
See, here's a downside with a good side. So the other day I was on Facebook, looking through Facebook, just scrolling through, as you do, looking at memes that my mates are sharing and stuff like that, just random stuff. And I come across like a few of my mates from high school, and like they're taking pictures and videos. They're in Italy at the moment, or Spain, or whatever. And I'm like, God, I wish I was on holiday. I wish I went on holiday. But then I remembered.
That's the problem with social
there and
media.
There and then, I remembered that I've got Sweden to look forward to. I've got ESA to look forward to. I've got my friends that I can go and see. I've got people I can meet. They can't do any of that. I mean, yeah, they probably could afford to go to Sweden, but guess what? They're not going for the reason I am.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, yeah, F you. You know, you're in Sweden, you know, you're in Spain, but when you're back, guess what? I'm going to be in Sweden, and you're not. You're going to be in work wishing you were back online again. As in, back at
Nobody
home,
puts when they're at home having a quiet night in on social media. Nobody shares the realities of life. It's just, oh look, I'm doing such and such.
I mean,
It doesn't bother
I
me.
like
I
posting pictures online, but whenever I usually do it, it's because of the fact that if I'm there, like for example, last year I went on my first holiday abroad on my own, met a friend in Spain and had a great, had a great time and whatnot. But then, like with Sweden, it's a case of I probably will take pictures when I'm there, but I probably won't be posting them till I get back. Like when till when I actually get back. If I'm posting them whilst I'm there, it's probably a kick in the teeth for people. I usually prefer to say to people, it helps my mum in a way. Like I've just landed, there's the airport, plane's just landed, nice weather, roasting. But that's about it. That's all. that's all I'd probably post in terms of pictures. Unless, if I've been to an event, obviously I can't post pictures from the event whilst I'm there because I might not have internet reception. But, like I said, everyone's different in what they do and what they post on social media. Everyone's got their own opinion on it.
Have you finished, by the way?
No, I'm on lap 4 or 5 at the moment.
Oh, okay. So you'll finish about 8 minutes behind. In front, sorry. Yeah, it is a virus, but it has its upsides and its downsides. Yeah, it's one of them things, like everything in life. Right, last.
I think the biggest problem with social media, and I can't say this properly because of the fact that I use social media, but social media is now so integrated into our lives that we fail to interact with each other properly. It's a cliche thing to say, but it's true. Like you go to a bus stop, people are going to just be sat on the phones talking to one another.
No, that is right. Yeah.
You don't see people talking to each other like they used to. Ever since mobile phones have taken over our lives. Like ESA, am I going to be on my phone very much? I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I might use my phone to look for, I might use my phone for looking on the internet and looking for food places near the hotel or something when I'm at ESA, or for taking pictures and sending them to people. But that's about it. There's nothing that I can do, not a lot I can say or do that will some things have an impact on people. But like I said, we're glued now. We're like mindless zombies, mindless drones.
I don't think you can say everyone. I think yeah, stereotype and it's the majority, but I think to say everyone's a bit harsh because I think that there are some,
let's say 90% of people nowadays at least have a mobile phone. I'd say that's about. I don't know if it's about right. It's probably more like 80% or something. But
then again, you know, just don't worry about it. You know, you're not going to change people. No, but like you say, Joseph, I agree with that. There's nothing I love more than having a proper conversation with someone in person. You know, particularly about something I'm interested in, whether that be music, sport, whatever.
Right,
I love
done.
that sort of thing.
I'm done.
Nice one. I've got 4 laps to do, so yeah, I'll probably be about 8 minutes behind, but
2:09:29. Oh man.
I'll be interested to see when I post my individual bits about how far I'm behind in the different sections.
I think my segments are a bit messed up because obviously that includes loading times back to the menu for each segment.
Ah well, we can put them on and then at least it's more than it should be rather than less. Do you know what I mean? So at least it's not cheating the rules like.